Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DotaPit League Season 2. It is our group stages with Group B, mYInsanity versus Team Empire here, our second game of the series. And, well, not much to say after the first game. If you missed it, I feel bad for you, because that was quite the game. The 1.6% chance that mYInsanity get back into the game, 2 sets of racks down, a range racks top down, a tier 4 down, and they proceed to win every team fight within the next 20 minutes, team wiping Team Empire 5 or 6 times in that time span. And not only really good play from mYInsanity, a bit of a throw from Empire, but we'll see if this game lives up to the hype of the first game. I have a feeling not, but we'll see. Again, my name is Mott. With me is our statsman, Mott Paxton. Of course, F4L joining me as well. F4L, are you still alive after that first game?
Yeah, I'm still here. That was a pretty good first game. I actually wasn't expecting very much out of this series, to be perfectly honest. I thought Empire was going to win pretty convincingly 2-0, and with the start they had last game, it kind of looked like that's how the series was going to go. But mYInsanity, stayed really calm, were able to just sort of wait out the brunt of Team Empire's onslaught, and they slowly clawed their way back in that game.
That was maybe one of the most impressive comebacks I've seen, just to be down 2 sets of racks and to realize, like, hey, we're actually really strong right now. Like, the BKB of the Lycan is becoming somewhat useless. Gandalf doesn't have a BKB. Let's just go fight them and see what happens. And Empire, they don't make the right decisions. They go straight for the tier 4 to try to finish the game. They had won every fight up until then. And then all of a sudden, mYInsanity are like, hey, we're going to kill you now. So, I mean, a good start for mYInsanity. I mean, they took the record of Navi US. They replaced them, obviously. mYInsanity now 4-1. Empire 6-7. All of a sudden, these teams start playing well, and Empire might lose a playoff spot if they're not careful. So a win here would go a long way to at least helping them along, get towards that playoff spot, which is, of course, the top 4 in Group B.
Yep. And then if we start to look at this draft, it looks like Empire not wanting to deal with that Meepo again, just go ahead and second phase ban that this time. Go ahead and first pick the Tide and the Ancient Apparition and follow it up with a Sven pick. It'd be interesting to see if that's a support Sven or a carry Sven. I want to lean towards a carry. Actually, it is against a Viper, so actually I think it's going to be a support Sven against that Viper.
Okay. Some way to take it down using its physical damage with the God Strength and obviously Stormhammer to make sure Viper gets stopped in his tracks. But no, Team Empire, they've ran the supports event earlier today. They had Always Want to Fly on it. And, it's a good hero, I feel like, with the Ancient Apparition. I mean, the right-click damage is actually kind of ridiculous. Tide Hunter more than likely going to be played by Yoki. And then the clicks picked up. This is one of Silent's go-tos, and that he hasn't played in some time, it feels like. I like this choice from them. But I mean, there's the Legion Commander on mYInsanity side, and Grazine had... And we talked a lot about Lazard, but Grazine was damn good. Damn good on that hero.
Yeah, he had a good game on that Legion Commander.
Yeah.
And so the Clinks pickup for Empire, we haven't seen Silent play it in quite some time. It could also be for Scandal in the mid lane. I know that he has played that quite a few times for other teams that he's been on. And the reason why I said it's most likely going to be a support Sven, just because going up against a Viper, if you're a core Sven, you're just going to constantly be getting Viper ulted, and it's just really not a fun time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you will get kited. And that's the problem with the hero as a core, as a carry, regardless of what happens and how farmed you may get. If there's a Viper, or any hero that has something that goes through Magic Community that can kite you around, you are in some trouble. So Sven is more than likely looking like a core, or rather a support pickup here, and then that means they need their last hero. Now, what do they grab for Team Empire? What are their choices here? Mid or safe lane, I suppose. I imagine Clinks is going to be played in the mid, or rather safe lane, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario. And they go ahead and blast pick the Mirana, so maybe an aggressive tri-lane coming out from them with the Mirana, Rubik, and Wraith King. I think that's a possibility. Maybe the Legion Commander mid and the safe lane Viper to go up against that Tide Hunter in the off lane. I would actually like those lanes for mYInsanity. It'll be interesting to see if the Mirana is going to be played as a support or a core this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really it comes down to the Wraith King and the Mirana. It's which one are you gonna put your core onto? And the more I watch Wraith King games, the more I like him as a core. But I can understand the need to have Mirana for a late game carry, especially after what happened last game. If they get down early, they would have Mirana to help them get back into it. But it's not like a Meepo where you reach your stride at like 40 minutes, you know. And that Mirana doesn't necessarily do that much damage throughout the entire game, even until you were really farmed. I feel like that's the problem with the hero.
I think we'll actually end up seeing a core. It's actually quite difficult to say. I think either work in this situation. Mirana's a bit better as a core in the aggressive lanes, just because you're a range hero. It's a bit easier to CS, but I think Wraith King would be better suited to be played as the position 1 just in this particular game. And Empire, it'll be interesting to see what they choose to last pick.
10 seconds remaining.
They have a couple of options.
I think the lanes for mYInsanity are rather obvious, so probably going to look, and they're going to last pick the Jakiro, so maybe we're going to see a Clinksmith and then a Jakiro, Sven, Ancient Apparition tri-lane, and then the Tidehunter solo like we talked about.
Yeah, and that lane's actually really difficult to deal with. I think that aggro tri might not work as well as they would want it to.
I think this actually isn't going to work out for them because I think the Sven AA Jakiro lane is actually much stronger than the lane coming out from mYI.
Yeah, it's tough. It's going to be an issue, I think, and they still have time to maybe break up the aggro tri, but I don't know. I mean, we have to wait and see.
No, their lanes are pretty much set because the problem is the Viper. Sure, Viper will do well in the mid lane, but Viper against Tide is extremely favorable. You can't. There's no support duo that really makes much sense for the side of mYI if you're not doing aggressive, because you don't really want to have a Rubik Potom roam that's not really too effective. Rubik Wraith King roam, not too effective either, so it makes a lot of sense just to go ahead and aggressive. Even if you can't win this aggressive lane, you're at least going to have that favorable 1v1 matchup for the Viper.
Yeah. Although Silent is heading top currently, mYI are in the trees. They're going to eat their way through and look to throw up an observer ward somewhere. I'm not sure where. Always want to fly. Luckily has vision of the supports roaming in. Cole's like looking for this telekinesis. Always want to fly. He's going to get right clicked. They do have the boots on the Rubik, but he did not find a kill there. Couldn't find the telekinesis target. And they're just going to head away. So mYI with the early game aggression. They actually don't throw any wards down at all. Not yet anyway. Cole, who had the ward coming out? It's actually placed down by Lazard, and he's going to throw down a sentry ward on the magic bush as well. So this ward going to give them some okay vision.
Oh, it looks like they're actually going to dodge the tri-lane. Okay, so this is actually pretty smart from Empire as well. So they're not really too fond of facing this tri-lane head-on, which I think they actually could have done quite easily because they have this AA, the really tanky Jakiro. And as long as Jakiro is the one being initiated on, I think Empire would have been just fine against that lane.
Milan, are you dead? Stormhammer's going to come in. They have Chilling Touch. They're going to use it. I think, yeah, he's dead. One more right click from Solo. Dual Breath, and then Solo comes in with the right click, and that's the kill. So Viper gets caught up. They know the aggro tri-lane is coming up from Empire. And that's going to be a good start coming out from Empire. But again, I mean, this will get farmed for the Mirana bottom, or whoever is farming bottom. I think it might be Lazard, actually. Telekinesis goes in. Yoki maybe in trouble. He does have Kraken Shell. He's rather tanky. Air's going to sail, and Yoki cannot dodge that one, and he is in some trouble. Wraithfire Blast, no mana for it. They don't need it. They don't get the first blood. Milan has rotated down bottom. Looks like they'll rotate everyone up top. So already musical lanes coming out. But even though they've already rotated Milan, this still is a lot of time spent for mYI to get up towards that top lane. Yeah, and everyone's already rotating back down bottom here for Empire.
Yeah, you really don't want to be rotating 3 heroes because, I mean, as we already see, Solo is rotating back to the bottom lane, so...
They scout him out, though. So, I mean, they might actually just keep Mitch in the safe lane as a solo safe lane Mirana and maybe send Milan here. And I know you want to get experience with Viper, but the fact is if you have a Viper against this aggro tribe, maybe it becomes a bit easier for them to secure kills. Although you don't have the arrow, you have plenty of damage to work with. I don't know.
So it looks like it's just going to be Silent 1v1ing against this Mirana, so he's going to have a really easy time in this off lane. Surprising to see him only at 5 CS, considering there should have been a decent amount of time where he was just soloing against the creeps.
Yeah.
Maybe not completely comfortable with the Jakiro animation.
This is Yeah, I mean, he's just going to continue to liquid fire. Mitch has to be careful of that. Rune contention. Lizard's going to pick up the illusion. Oh, they almost denied it. Lizard rather, is going to just back away. And Grazine, again, he's going to have a tough time until he gets the bottle coming out. Now, again, Searing Arrows are going to do a lot of damage here, and Clinks has got plenty of CS, 11 last hits, the most in the game. Grazine really can't afford to be up here. If he gets even Searing Arrow once, he might go down. Well, no, it's 200 damage. He's got 200 HP, but still. I mean, Scandal can just hit him twice and maybe kill him altogether.
And the CS in the mid lane, Scandal doing a really good job on this mid lane Clink, sitting at 14-2, picking up his bottle against the 8-0 of Grazine.
That's exact.
And Solo picks up a bounty rune, but he wastes a Stormhammer for it on an illusion. So
and he's completely out of mana now.
I don't know if that was worth it, but
he's probably gonna have to go to base.
So the top 3 CSers are all on the side of Empire, and again, I don't know if MYI have a lineup that lend themselves to coming back like they did last game. And
Yeah,
I mean,
certainly not the same way. I mean, Empire definitely have way better team fight this game. They have the AA and the Tide and the Jakiro. All 3 of these heroes are extraordinarily good in team fights.
I mean, this is just going to be, I think, and the fact that Grazine is, I mean, he's at 11 last hits, it could be worse, but the fact that Scandal's sitting at 20 last hits, he's going to get plenty of farm. I think he's got, what, a bottle coming out maybe, and a kill, boots, and a bottle, I believe. I think those are his boots. They are. Grazine is going to press the attack, and Scandal pops the strafe. Look at this damage coming out. They're trading heavily. Scandal out of mana. The overwhelming odds comes in, and Grazine lives with 7 HP. The press the attack. The second level heals just enough. Oh my gosh, Grazine. What a player. Wow.
That's a huge mistake from Scandal. I mean, he was dominating this lane.
Always want to fly telekinesis down bottom, and they're going to bring him down. They right-click him. They do throw up the Chilling Touch. Yoki's going to come in, and he's like, I want to hit Milan. He does. He's still getting poison attacked. Yoki, Milan going toe-to-toe. Milan actually takes a lot of damage just from Anchor Smash, and he has to salve up. So they get a kill in mid lane. They get a kill bottom. Although Grazine obviously has to wait for him to regen up. He will be back in the mid lane. He does have maybe a level advantage now. No, it's about even, I'd say. Clinks is only just level 5, whereas Grazine is almost level 6, so almost a full level advantage, yes, but they could catch up, or rather, Scandal could catch up. So, I mean, and on top of that, he has plenty of CS as well. He's got 21 now.
Yeah. And a really costly mistake coming out from Scandal, who is definitely winning his lane. If you look at the net worth, he's still leading by about 100, but no longer the large advantage that he once had.
I mean, I think the key is just don't do that again. I mean, you had like, obviously the kill would have provided him with even more farm, but at this point,
it's
I don't
not
know
worth the risk, because you're just winning the lane outright.
Yeah, I mean, even if you pump out all this damage, you're so squishy, and Grazine could just come in and duel you and kill you, especially if he gets like an Invis rune or a haste rune or something. Scandal has to be careful. Also, the Blink Dagger coming out from Grazine would be huge. Telekinesis, they've rotated up Cole. There's going to be the Stormhammer, but Solo has no mana left, and Warcry is doing something, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Silent's going to get chased down by Mitch and Cole. He's going to try to kill himself to the tower, it looks like, but I don't think he's going to have... Oh, the stick! He actually is alive, Macropyre, and dies to the tower. Scandal does get the kill on Grazine mid lane, as he looks like he got a bit too aggressive there, and I'm not sure what Grazine was doing, but we missed that one, clearly.
Do you know if you can toggle Searing Arrows while you're being dueled?
I would imagine no, but maybe I'm wrong. Was the duel used there? It was. Maybe you could. And Scandal just obliterated him with the Searing Arrows. I don't know. That's a good question. One that I don't have the answer to. We'll find out next time he gets dueled.
Yep. I bet... I actually have no idea.
You and me both, my friend.
Because I don't play either of these heroes.
I think duel disables everything, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't disable anything anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Or at least not
it.
passives. But that's not even a passive.
It's not
anyways.
a passive. Is it a passive if it's auto-toggled? Probably not. I would think that it would disable it, but I don't know, I'm insane. Maybe chat will know. Anyways, 6.5 minutes into the game, Empire, they've got a 3 to 4 kill disadvantage. However, they have a CS advantage in almost every lane. Lazard is going to DC. The pause comes out immediately because of the new implementation by Valve, which is, by the way, amazing. It happened after Ace on New York, so it was great.
Chat's not going to know. Because, I mean, whatever we say, they're just going to say we're wrong.
Okay, well, that's true.
If we say that it's toggleable. No, nothing's muted anymore. I don't. Oh, Are your? I guess your skills are muted, but it's not a skill either. That's like something that you'd have to go in a game and test. I think. I don't know.
There has to be some information. I'd be tempted just to all chat and be like, "Hey, no, I'm not going to do that. That's silly." But
maybe during the pause it would be okay.
No, I don't. I'm not going to bother these guys. They're too busy fighting and getting CS and playing Dota. Yoki's diving into Milan. Milan is like, please help somebody TP in. Moonlight Shadow's gonna go. Grazine actually has duel. If he didn't get body blocked, it would actually be the creep wave, which actually stuns up Grazine. Yoki, they could have dueled him. Grazine's like, dude, come on. Grazine's still looking for solo. Moonlight Shadow's done, by the way. There's press the attack, always on the fly. Ice Vortex, there's the duel. Can they get the victory? Ice Path goes in. Grazine, he really just wanted that kill. Overwhelming odds, and he's not going to find it. There's the Stormhammer coming in from solo. He's going to try to fight into Milan. And Viper Strike, he can't really decide who to cast it on. Milan actually has to back away. There's the Viper Strike going in. Milan kind of getting low. He does have stick charges. He's going to have to pop them. The arrow comes in. Yoki's back. He's got Ravage. Get out. Starstorm connects on one. They get the kill. Mitch, he's got to get away. Here comes Lazard. Avoids the Ice Path. Silence going to fall. Yoki is getting kited around. All of a sudden, mYI, a huge fight going their way. Solo's back in. There's the Stormhammer coming in. Milan has level 2 corrosive skin. Is it enough to keep him alive? Warcry's gonna go. Milan is man fighting. Solo's dead. Triple kill for this Viper. What a disaster. Empire, what is going on?
Oh, a triple kill for this Viper. And Viper was struggling in this game to find his farm and his footing. I mean, he was 0-1. Now he's at 4-1-4 with 35 CS. I mean, highest net worth in the game now. And I mean, this game wasn't looking so good for mYI with the way that Empire set their lanes, but they've had a lot of good support rotations, and I mean, they're looking fantastic now in this game.
They have a 1,500 net worth lead, a almost 1,000 experience lead, so they have something. Although Scandal is the most CSing player in the game, he does have an Oblivion Staff. How much is that going to provide them? I'm not sure. Grazine has got nothing. I'm surprised. I guess Grazine did die in that engagement. I think it's really going to come down to the Viper and his mech and being effective early on. Viper Strike's going to go into Yoki. They're probably going to look for a duel. Anchor Smash is going to go. It does connect into Milan. Yoki is still low. Poison attack. Getting him there. Getting him there. Cold Feet. And Grazine, overwhelming odds was already used. They can't pick up the kill. The Cold Feet actually saves his life. And Milan, with that kill, might have gotten to a mech, but not today.
So, this Viper getting pretty close to his mechanism.
Solo?
300 gold.
Warcry? Mitch just dives him. Solo
did the arrow connect? Or
no,
did it miss?
he Starstormed and then Mitch right-clicked him, and Solo just didn't pop his Warcry till the very end when he died. I don't know what happened.
It only
there.
gives him 4 armor. So.
I mean, the move speed even would have been fine. He dodged the arrow and he kind of, I don't know, he just kind of died to the Mirana. So again, a free kill going to the Mirana in that bottom lane, and Milan is much closer to his mech now, which will be probably done in about 10 minutes or so. And once they have that mech, I think they could just start fighting. The Blink Dagger's really what they want. Strafe going in. Mitch actually has to leap away. Moonlight Shadow might not be used here as he's already leapt and phased. So, arrow. Oof. Scandal. Good dodge. Nice stuff.
Scandal looks like he's working towards his Orchid. We actually don't see many Orchid rushes on Clinks anymore.
Oh.
Usually see that Soul Ring bottle into... No, there's a couple of different variations.
Solo is not dead yet. Very close.
Yeah,
8
like
HP.
Okay.
This is actually one of the roughest games I've seen. And Solo has had some rough games, man. Like, this entire tournament has been rough on him, I feel like.
Grazine's having a really rough game on this solo mid-Legion commander.
Yeah.
Sitting at 24 last hits, only has... I mean, he only has 300 gold and a Belt of Strength. Not even close to that Blink Dagger.
They've got a history now. They're gonna get a kill on Yoki. This is gonna be a dual win, maybe arrow. Okay, maybe not. Grazine can't get a dual win to save his life. Honestly, he's gonna get tried to them now, but yeah, he's nowhere near a Blink Dagger, and that's really the problem. I think is that Empire could get back in this as long as Scandal continues to get farmed, because there's no. I mean, like, Viper's good, but how good is he gonna be in a couple of minutes?
Take us.
Oh.
And does look like Wraith King does have his point saved, so he can opt for that point and reincarnation. He's probably baiting this fight. Are people behind him? Is he going to skill reincarnation? Yeah, he's skilled it.
They're going to just run away from this. Silent's going to get stunned up. There's the Ravage, and now they're all slowed up. This is going to be a rough fight for Empire. Silent's about to fall. Lazard back alive. Duel about to go on somebody, please. Finally, they get it off on Yoki, and they will get a duel win. Ice Blast comes in. Lazard's low, but it's not going to, I don't think, shatter him. Rubik does take a spill in the meantime. I'm not sure where he died. I think it might have been in the lane. Yeah, he did go down. Maybe to the Ice Blast. They're diving on Always Want to Fly. Milan, no mana to mech, actually. His Cold Feet is maybe going to connect, and the tower is actually doing a lot of damage. Milan's in some trouble, but there's the press the attack. He's got to stick up.
He has 10.
Need to stick. Got a mech as well. Too. He's not using it yet. Solo's getting dove, and mYI get 4, maybe 5 kills with that dive and that team fight in general, and that also expended Ravage. The only hero not involved, luckily, was Scandal, who was always farming mid. And 1,800 gold exchange, mYI getting that, 500 loss for Empire.
Is this the type of game that Scandal can actually carry on a Clinks?
I feel like he would need to have his Orchid by now for that to be the case.
I mean, they have a lot of disables. I mean, if you only have one person farmed against a lineup like what mYI have, I mean, they have the Duel, the Viper Strike, they have a lot of stuns coming out, so, I mean, he's going to need at least an Orchid and a BKB to be able to have any chance of really carrying this game.
Well, I mean, he's getting close to the Orchid, yes. BKB, we'll table that discussion until later. Because honestly, I don't know how that's going to end up. He will use his Death Pact, and he is, I mean, I guess the recipe is like, what, 800 gold? So he's quite close. He is the top net worth, but we saw that from last game with Silent. What exactly happened? To be fair, they almost won the game, but...
Oh, you can't compare last game to this game. True. He had double the net worth of the next person in the game.
Yeah, and that was the crazy thing. We're like, yep, Silent just having a really good game. Look at his farm, and then it
Silent
became
doing
a disaster.
silent things.
I guess so. Grazine is looking for a duel. He's not going to find one as Silent is backing away. He's trying to get towards his Yule Scepter. He's kind of close, actually.
This is like one of the most poor. I mean, this would be considered probably poor if you were an off lane LC. Actually, this is probably about right. But he was in the mid lane, so. And I mean, even pretty much gifted a kill from Scandal in the early game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought with that start he was going to be okay.
Solo Smoke, that's his 20.
That was 4 days ago. 4 days ago. How many deaths does he have now? 5?
Quite a lot of kills.
He's a fourth of the way there at 14 minutes, so we'd have to go probably 50 to 60 minutes for that to happen. Strafe's going to go in. Cole is actually going to get blown up. His Scandal with his Orchid appearance, finally. I mean, he was warding. They're going to counter it immediately, though. That was a bit brave. But here's the Moonlight Shadow. Now they're going to jump on Scandal. He's just going to pop up. And the Ice Vortex is going to go. Does really nothing. And Always Want to Fly at least is going to fall, but they couldn't get Scandal. That was the real target they were looking for. It was back and looking for a Death Pack creep, so. Now they're just going to man up on the mid. Solo's going to throw up the Stormhammer. That's gone. Silent and Solo are here together in the trees. They can actually just shoot an arrow and maybe find something there, but... Heals comes in. There's the Wraithfire Blast. Ravage is available. Arrow does connect in Solo. And Milan is just manning up. He has no mana. He already used his mech. He has no Aegis. This is actually really brave from Milan. Why is he there? Is my question. Ravage was used for that, so... A 1-for-1 trade, but not a good trade coming out from mYI. That was really, really, really... That's actually amazing. That's the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my god.
Ice Blast, they're going to fight. Wraithfire Blast goes into Silent. And Grazine, he's taking some hits. Scandal gets arrowed. Will they be able to get the skill? Starstorm, they take him down with the Fade Bolt. That's a big bounty going the way of mY. Wraithfire Blast, Yoki now getting right-clicked from the low ground from Mitch. That's another kill. Mitch leaps up into the Ice Path. He right-clicks from the low ground. Can he get the kill?
Oh, he misses.
What a Yule Scepter. The Storm Bolt's going to fly, and Mitch is out of leap. Wraithfire Blast going in onto Solo. The Fade Bolt as well. They do get the kill on Silent. The Fade Bolt from Cole gets it done, and Solo getting chased down. And this is going to be another team wipe. mYI are about to kill Solo. Boom. Oh, just kidding. It's one more right-click, and there it is. Triple kill for Mitch. My god. They don't even need the freaking
Okay,
Viper.
so
Man.
yeah, I was just gonna say the Viper dives the tower, dies, so they lose their mech carrier.
Yes.
They still team fight.
Yes.
The Ravage is used, and they come out victorious. I mean, that's just not. Wait, did they have the Ravage there?
Yeah, they ravaged a bit earlier on. Yeah.
Okay, they didn't have the Ravage for that.
No. They
particular
ravaged the as soon as the Viper dove, they ravaged.
Oh, okay, they ravaged it when the Viper dove.
Yes. Yes. And sounds about right. Listen, I mean, this is just mYI doing mYI things, I guess. mYI are
they're really far ahead at this point now.
yeah.
They pick up the Midas on the Wraith King, so he's probably going to be transitioning into that semi-carry. And it looks like both games, Lizard going for these, you know, sort of carry 4 position heroes, where he starts as a 4 position and then he sort of transitions into that 3 or 2 position.
Oh, 6.8.
I mean, in the last game he transitioned to the 1. So
I mean, listen, it's just that's how 6.82 works, I guess, for some teams at least.
Dire's top tower.
They're gonna try to take Roche. Blade Mail now done for Milan, and they're gonna head in. And I mean,
oh, Blade Mail Viper? That's not something you see very often. I'm not sure about that.
Ice Blast, Grazine's the only one that can sit up with it. Mitch actually just leaped onto the high ground. How unfortunate. They can't actually do anything because they don't have a 4 staff. Oh well.
I'm not really sure what the Blade Mail is, like, what its purpose is. To maybe prevent Clinks from just shredding you?
I think
That's one possibility.
I mean, I guess because you can't really go BKB against the Clinks anymore.
I mean, you could just go Aghanims, right? And then just ult him.
Yeah. There's that. I would have liked the Aghanims better, but I can understand the decision, I suppose. Whatever, at least they're going to take Roshan. The Aegis is picked up, and they're going to head up to the tier 2 tower as they were putting pressure. Eul Scepter goes. The Ice Path's going to fly as well. They're going to jump in. There's the Blade Milk going through as well. And Milan does have the Aegis. He also has the mech. He's not going to... There it goes. Ice Blast flying in. That's the Aegis gone. Solo, he's going to try to TP away, and it looks like he will make it out, although the Viper Strike did a lot of damage. Aegis gets expended immediately. So that was a good play from Empire. Mitch uses his arrow and misses it completely. Yoki's going to get chased down. Lip. And no way to stop him from getting away, so...
So, you know, they get rid of the Aegis, don't lose anyone in return. Scandal is sitting invis.
Scandal.
Is he gonna find a kill?
He might find Mitch. But Mitch has leap in 3.
Would he die for this, though?
Yeah, he would Orchid. That's the question. He will have his Ghost Walk if he uses any damage. Ice Blast completely. I think
his
they're
ult's
waiting
about
for
to
Ice
run out.
Blast.
Okay, so they might go now.
They see them. Sentries in the ground. There's the Wraithfire Blast. There's going to be the Blade Mill going as well. And now the Viper Strike onto Scandal. He's got a back way. There's the Ravage going in. The Stormhammer onto 2. This could be the fight they were looking for. Solo getting got on, though. The Orchid. Now the Ravage was stolen by Cole. They bring 3 down. mYI. They do it again. This time with Cole. Yoki's going to get chased into the tree line. Telkin needs to step the right click. Now Grazine's like, give me that duel, damn it. Winner, winner. Grazine now going to push down to the top lane.
This is really not Yoki's game. Yoki really struggling. I mean, getting the Ravage stolen like that...
Wow.
There should have been no chance for that to happen. He just didn't cast Anchor Smash directly after Ravage.
Cole, though, with the smart play, I guess. I mean, you're going to go for that steal every time, but
yeah,
it's going to work if you... I mean, like, that's just is huge. Ice Blast coming in.
Yeah, it's near... It should be impossible to steal Ravage unless you blink over the top of it and then steal it before he casts Anchor Smash, because the Ravage AoE is larger than Spellsteal AoE.
Yes.
Until you get Aghanims, so...
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And he still has that, and it's level 2 Spellsteal. Actually, I'm not sure if he's got level 2.
He's going to have it... it's going to come off cooldown again.
He's got a blink. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did Empire just lose with that Ravage steal? I thought that fight was going well.
I mean, this is better... They now have Blink Ravage and Empire have Walking Ravage.
That's actually ridiculous. Yoki's not even close to... Well, he's somewhat close to a Blink Dagger, but... The Scandal getting picked off early on in that fight was really bad, and I think the Ravage, was the main factor. They know he's over here. Arrow just misses on Scandal.
So Scandal is working towards that BKB.
Oh,
Definitely a necessity.
Oof, Grazine would have died there. He might actually still die, and
he still doesn't have a Blink Dagger on this Legion Commander.
Scandal has
Poor
to back
Legion
away.
Commander.
I like the play coming out from Scandal, but no such luck. He's not going to be able to grab it. Stormhammer clearing the creep wave, but Manta for Mitch means that they can split push, they can be effective. Ice Blast is going to sail. They know the Ice Blast is coming every time, man. And that's what it seems like. They're so good at spotting it out. I mean, to be fair, though, he's not really walking back from the creep wave when he's doing it.
Yeah, they probably just have someone looking at the lane.
Looks like it's coming. Grazine now with a Blink Dagger.
Alright, nice. He finally gets the Blink Dagger.
This game is, now with a Blink, I think this game's actually that much rougher. Oh.
And so the Vit Booster now picked up on Milan on the Viper, so he's going to be that much harder to take down along with the Blade Mail.
Oh, God.
So how does Empire get back in this game? Okay, they really need to get the Blink on Tidehunter and probably a Refresher followed by that. They need to get this BKB up onto Scandal so that he can just dish out all this damage during the fights, but I mean, it's just so easy. They can just duel him, and even if Legion Commander, let's say, loses the duel, they can Viper Strike him. They just need to lock him down while they all deal damage to him.
Maybe Mitch? Wow, he should not have been able to leap out of that. Oh, and he mantas the Stormhammer. I feel like that's maybe not as amazing as I think it is, but it's still pretty damn good.
Mantating Stormhammer is very difficult.
Solo now getting chased down. There's the Warcry. He actually has another stun. He might be able to TP away. There's no arrow. Starstorm Telekinesis. Cole's there. He doesn't have Ravage anymore, by the way, but God, Mitch. MYI. And
there's about a 1/10 of a second window, I think, to Manta Stormhammer. So really impressive because it's an AoE skill. So
if you Manta beforehand, it just hits you and the illusions.
Yep.
Wow, God. Also, I should note about Solo. He has no God Strength. I don't know if... Oh, duel on Scandal! Oh, look out! He's dead. Grazine gets the kill, or Lizard, rather. He was trying to take down the tier 2 tower. So they lose Clinks, but yeah, I was about to say Solo has no God Strength, by the way. So there's that.
Yep.
You don't like to insinuate things here, but... Well, blink back. Grazine is going to get Yules. Ice Path. Macro might go. Grazine actually might die here. It's going to press the attack. That's not going to keep him alive. Yoki blinked forward. Cole, Telekinesis. Cole, no, you're kind of alone. They Telekinesis him back. Are they going to fight this? Milan's coming in. Spell Steal's Gush. Gush through. Ice Path onto 2. Nicely done there. Ravage is available, I believe. He might use it. Arrow connects. He's not going to get to you. He just got arrowed into the corner. Now,
Empire, they're just off their game today. This is not the team I'm used to seeing. This is not the team that we saw
against Secret
2 days ago against Secret.
Yeah, it's really, they look disorganized. They look out of sorts. That first game really, I think, got to them. And this second game, they've just been outplayed. I mean, the drafts, I think, were pretty even. I even liked Empire's draft maybe a bit more, but these,
I don't know, maybe they're on
bad.
tilt from... I mean, they've had a couple weird games. Like the first game against Cloud9, I think they had a really good chance of winning. And then obviously the previous game, they definitely should have won that game. So maybe they're a little bit on tilt today. Yeah, I mean, this is just not the team I'm used to seeing.
No. Obviously, the changes with Resolution, Bank Score, and FNG, obviously those changes came a while ago, but it's certainly a different team in composition. Blink Dagger now purchased up for the Wraith King. MYI are well on their way to securing a second game. They're not done yet. They need some extra fights. All of the outer towers are gone, though, and with Roche in a fight, they probably take a set of racks, so... Silent is up into the top lane. He's going to pressure this out and try to put some damage, and maybe we just take this tier 2. They might glyph this. Scandal comes in as well. Glyph's not going to go yet. Orchid was up on the Wraithfire, or on the Wraith King, rather. Glyph goes in, and tower is going to get denied by Grazine. Very close, though. Scandal walks away.
So if you look at the item progression, is they are going to make it go on silent?
I think he's probably... Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's going to be able to blink out.
Ooh, close.
That was... Oh, my...
Lazard, Cole. These guys have map packs or something? What the hell?
He puts the healing on during Chilling Touch. So if we look at the item progression on Lizard, he's got... You know, he picked up that Hand of Midas a while ago, now has the Blink Dagger and the Treads with the Gloves of Haste, so probably going to be looking towards that Maelstrom build that we see pretty commonly. Grazim on the Legion Commander has his Blink Dagger up and working on a Blade Mail, pretty close to that item for himself. It looks like Milan actually going for the Crimson Guard on the Viper.
Yeah,
pretty interesting to see.
He's going to have it soon. I actually don't mind this choice.
Is it that good against really anything Empire has, though?
It doesn't reduce the searing arrow damage,
okay,
but it reduces the physical damage of... actually, it might reduce the searing arrow damage. It's physical. Yeah.
Is it a separate instance of damage, or is it just added to your damage?
It's just bonus damage. I would imagine that it's just the same amount of damage. Or the same instance, rather. I don't think it's a separate instance.
Okay. So it just negates that damage pretty much then?
Yeah, which, that's fine, I think. So Crimson Guard done. And on top of that, I mean, you're going to gating the Sven's right-click. And maybe some of the Chilling Touch damage. Well, Chilling Touch, no, but the right-click of everyone else, I guess so. But I think it's an okay choice. Blade Mail's all around, though, coming out. And actually, the Wraith King is going to pick up a Chainmail as well. So maybe he's building a Blade Mail, I'd have to imagine.
And BKB finally finished on Scandal on the Clinks. So he's probably going to have a bit more impact in this next team fight, as he'll be able to stand his ground, stay alive during these AoE spells. And they're not going to have any magic damage for him, so...
Yules, Ice Blast. Actually avoids it.
Oh, they missed it.
Meanwhile, Viper Strike goes in.
Oh, no.
And Silence actually just dead. Macro Power was stolen. Duel up onto Yoki. Goodbye, good sir. The arrow's going to sail in, and that'll secure the victory for Grazine. 2 immediate kills. Ravage was not used, luckily.
Empire just not playing well this game. I mean, they're just going on heroes when they don't have vision. They had no vision of any mYI heroes, and they're split pushing the top and mid lane. I mean, where else are they supposed to be?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a bit of a mistake. Roche is up. mYI are going to check it. They're pushing out mid lane. Milan is here. Scandal has to back away. And bottom lane's getting pushed in by Grazine.
I would say the one bright spot is that Tidehunter is working on the Refresher Orb, so I think their comeback mechanic lies in if they can get this Aghanim Scepter onto the Ancient Apparition, the Refresher Orb onto the Tidehunter, maybe one more additional damage item onto the Clinks. Maybe there's a chance that, you know, if they find, let's say, a 4-man Ravage and the Clinks is able to just wail on everyone and they get that double Ravage, maybe there's a chance they could still win this game, but...
I'm willing to bet that after the last game, anything's possible.
I mean, it's going to take some tremendous team fighting from Empire.
Well,
but I actually think this game is more recoverable than the previous game.
Well, yeah, I think that's probably true. I mean, it's still 12,000 net worth of lead, but the experience is not so bad. And I mean, you have the Ravage, obviously. Always when a fly's dead. That's another duel that Grazine will win. And Silent is desperately trying to get to the side shop here. He blinks away. Arrow? Oh, he doesn't have it. Mitch doesn't have it. He just used it. He actually picks up a Veil as well. Top lane Scandal. Good Ghost Scepter from Cole, so he actually... The
big question is going to be, can they get to that point where they have the double Ravage, the additional item on Clinks, and... I mean, that's going to be the real question.
I think they're doing a really good job of split pushing right now and keeping all the lanes pushed out.
I mean, they are losing heroes left and right, but at least they are keeping pressure on the lanes so that mYI aren't able to just group as 5 and push down a lane.
No, they're going to try to now, as Cole has, I think, done an effective job of pushing out mid and top for the most part. And I think you're going to have to TP home if you're Scandal. You have a Glyph, obviously. Milan is going to just try to do some work here with his Aegis on the high ground, but he's going really deep, and I think he needs to back up the Gush, and Ice Vortex are going to slow him down. And
he might
Cold Feet.
Get Yule Sceptered. I'm actually surprised he didn't get Yuled and then comboed by the Chikiro.
Yeah.
There was no... I know in the last fight he got Press the Attack, but Press the Attack was cooldown. They had already used it on Viper once.
Stormhammer, Wraithfire Blast. Is the fight going to break out? Solo pops the Warcry. He has to back away. Milan has his Blade Mail up. Ice Path does connect to Milan. Meanwhile, the tier 3 is getting focused. There's the mech finally being used. Silence getting right click down.
So tanky right now.
Milan is just out in front, and he doesn't care about anything at this point. Crimson Guard hasn't even been popped yet. Now Press the Attack is going to keep healing him up, and Milan is just saying, hey, listen, you can't even try and fight this. The Blink
They're
Dagger
just-
is ready. There's the Glyph coming in. Will they Ravage? I don't know. I mean, Yoki's looking for an opening, but he knows that if he Ravages, it might get stolen. Milan, the Aegis is about to fall. There's the God Strength finally going through the BKB. They blow up Scandal on the other side. Always want to fly. Getting right-clicked by Mitch. Lazard comes through. Look at this damage. There's the duel onto Yoki. Can't even get his Ravage off. They'd rather not steal it and not have it be used than to get it used at all. Grazine is going to get blown up. Luckily, as Scandal does buy back, but they're forced into the well. One more right-click, the arrow. The BKB was there. And now they've got to take the Rax down. They have lost Grazine. The Raxes are exposed. Solo has no more God Strength. He does have Stormhammer. Wraithfire Blast is going to go long range and get destroyed, I believe. But the Raxes are done. Bottom Rax, only for Grazine and an Aegis, I believe. Yep, that's right. Aegis was expended. Lazard gets Ice Blasted, or rather, Ice Pad. They do have the Moonlight Shadow up. MYI are going to make their retreat. And they are successful in taking down a set of Rax without really losing much at all.
Yep, they got what they came for. And looks like the item progression moving on along for all of their heroes. The Viper does pick up a Yasha Lizard. On the Wraith King picks up a Blade Mail. So he's going to be a bit more tanky in these fights and also return some additional damage to Empire. And Empire actually just... These Blade Mails are actually such a problem because they only have one BKB. So all this damage is being reflected to them with like their AoE spells.
It's ridiculous. It's just too much damage to deal with and too much tankiness as well. MYI have just been they've been so fun to watch in this series, let alone the first game, the second game as well. The team play coming out, the coordination, you could argue that Empire aren't having the best day, and that's fine, but I mean, at least with mYInsanity, if they win this game, they'll be up to 5-1. I mean, that's a really good start. They still have to play another game, another series against Cloud9, and that might expose them. Or it could make them look even better. I mean, obviously, this is a team that is the underdog by a wide margin in both of these series. But regardless, I've had a fun time watching both teams play this series, even if maybe Empire haven't had such a fun time.
I mean, they were probably having a fun time the last game until it went
For
south.
like 30 minutes, and then it became not so fun. But, you know...
So it looks like mYI can probably just start pressuring this top lane. You know, all the lanes are being currently pushed towards the side of Empire, so grouping up as 5 is perfectly fine in this situation.
Roshan still has a while before it respawns, so
That looks like Scandal is going to work towards that Diffusal Blade because there is a Ghost Scepter on the Rubik, which is pretty annoying. Usually when you're playing this Clinks, you like to pick on the support heroes in the back line of the team fights, but not really able to do so when they have these Ghost Scepters.
You can't really fight up against Bolon. You're going to take too much damage from Blade Mail. You can't really... I guess everyone has Blade Mail, so I guess you really can't take any of the cores on, with maybe the exception of Murana, but...
I mean, he does have the BKB, so...
Smoke up. A smoke into a smoke. His Solo Viper Strike, it is going to go, and Solo's going to get caught out of position. Ice Path is going to stop the attack coming in on the backside. Blink away coming out from Yoki as he was going to get caught out of position. Arrow does split both Solo as well as Silent. Now the Wraithfire Blast. Solo's caught out. He's done. He's down for 42. Meanwhile, Scandal always want to fly on Yoki. They're outside of the base. Mitch is like, come here. I want to arrow you. Give me your money. Give me your gold. And give me your life. Blink up. Wraithfire Blast. Always want to fly. And look at the damage. Crimson Guard has popped as well. Lazard, well, he does have his reincarnation. And even though he's taking some hits, I mean, he can always just come back to life. He might go down here. And no, he's, yep, there it is. Up in 1 second. Reincarnation, maybe not the best use of that, but 2 heroes still dead. Will they push into the high ground?
So.
Yeah. Jump in, Wraithfire Blast again, but there's the Ravage. Can Cole get there and Blink steal it? No, he got hit by the Ravage at the end. And now they throw up the Macro Power. Good fight so far for Empire. Scandal's laying into Milan. He's in some trouble. Scandal now taking a fight. The duel. And Grazine, he gets the kill. He gets the victory. Yoki getting chased down. Cole now gets stunned up. He was looking for somebody. Telekinesis onto Solo. He's dead. 4 dead. The only one alive is Yoki. And this is probably going to be a set of racks, if not GG. mYInsanity coming out with a strong 2-0 victory, it looks like, against Empire. And what many would consider an improbable series for them. They will take down the top racks. The mid rack's still alive. They're not done yet. Yoki's jumped in, but, well, Yoki's going to die. As he maybe was like, well, that was a mistake. Buyback in from the Viper. Does he have bots? I think he's just going to walk down mid until he gets to the lane. And GG finally called by Solo. The rest of mYI put on a damn good performance as they take the victory 2-0 over Empire.
Yeah. And honestly, what looked like a promising start with the way that Empire set up the lanes, but mYI rotated their heroes really well this game, and they just team fought better than Empire this game. They just like completely outplayed them, and it really looked like Empire was tilting.
Well, certainly in that second game. In the first game,
not in the first game. No.
They just made some mistakes. They threw, and then the tilt came later, so a bit rough. That'll be the end of this series. We have 5 minutes before the next series begins. Our last series of the day, Cloud9 versus mYInsanity, and that'll be brought to you by, of course, myself, Mont. With me is F4L, and of course our stats man MontPax on DotaPit. You can follow us on Twitter at MontDota, at F4LDota, at MontPax, and then of course at DotaPit. Check out DotaPit.com. Shout out to our sponsors, Twitch, Tessero, AMD, Sapphire, and Sennheiser. And of course High Ground TV, which is our casting studio. You can check that out at www.highground.tv. We'll take a quick break. We'll jump into the last series of the day. We'll see if mYInsanity can continue their strong run here with a good 2-0 start, or if Cloud9 will move up to a really solid maybe 5-1 or 6-0. We'll have to wait and see. Stick around, guys. We'll be back in just a moment.